All right, so I am proud to announce my next guest. I'm proud. this
There you go.
so we have Enrique Tarrio, the president of the Proud Boys. He is the president of the Proud Boys. He was the president of the Proud Boys. And sitting in for my normal co-host, Paul Drabick, is Jim Bob, another Proud Boy that unfortunately was a political prisoner like Enrique. I was very fortunate. I was just
We prefer the term hostages, I
yeah,
think.
I was just a like domestic terrorist. So thank God I didn't go to prison. I'm so lucky that I was only a domestic terrorist. So I don't
Yeah.
even I don't even like deserve to be in the same realm of these guys. But I'm very
I
honored to
mean,
have.
you would have gotten the title of domestic terrorist anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, you're wearing a fuck Antifa shirt,
Yeah.
so like that's
Yeah, oh,
good
yeah.
enough for
You see
me.
my shirt? I'm
I mean,
doing
come
it.
on.
We know all our enemies are watching us right
Yeah.
now. I had to wear this, right? And
And
I had to buy this at Goodwill. I bought it for $2.99. So I think we have to start boycotting Goodwill. So Enrique, thank you very much for coming on. I know we have 30 minutes. We might have more time. And I like, there's a lot of things that I want to cover, and whatever we could cover in this 30 minutes, great. We'll have you
course,
back on, right?
of
But I'd
course.
like to think about the Proud Boys. I know they're not racist. They're not. Well, you're African American. I think our president. I mean, your president. Your president was Hispanic,
Yeah,
right?
for a while.
And
Yeah.
so it's hard to say that you're racist against African Americans or your president.
Right.
Your president was racist against Mexicans.
As long
So
as you love the country.
yeah, that's
man.
one thing I
That's
wanted
really
to call
it.
out there. Another thing, because we played a little intro before you got on here, Enrique, about the background. You weren't even in Washington D.C., and we'll talk about that. And you got 22 years in prison. I mean, and then they talk about the church, and I mean, there's anti-gay. I mean, you guys had like a gay guy that I was told about before that was in the chapter a long time ago.
Yeah, somewhere
They're not
somewhere along the line.
anti-woman. All this stuff, everything they said about you is not true. And I don't know. I want you to talk. I mean, I just want you to have a voice to share the bullshit being a political prisoner, what you went through in there, how happy you are to be out, how it affected your mom, and whatever we could get in 30 minutes. So go ahead. The
Yeah, of
floor is
course, of
yours.
course.
The floor is yours.
So, I mean, let's start with this. I hate identity politics, but I also hate where they try to use identity politics against us, right? Obviously, if you have a Proud Boy chapter in like Nebraska or Kentucky, obviously you're going to have a high white population, right? But when you get into like Miami, for example, is my chapter, the Villain City chapter. You got 90% Cuban, you know, and we got our token white guys, right? Which I think is a whole two guys.
Wait, that was
you know,
racist. That was racist. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, sorry.
DEI Proud Boys. DIE
I'm
Proud
actually
Boys.
I am also the DEI director of the Proud Boys now. I don't know if you guys have heard, but yeah, we don't give a shit what your race is, religion, background. It's about values at the end of the day, right? And we get this bad rap because we go on the streets and these little Antifa and BLM fucks, right? They go ahead and they attack Trump supporters, and we don't allow that shit if we're there. It's just not going to happen on our watch.
Yeah.
And then automatically, the news has something, right? And they hold on to it for dear life. They're like, well, these people are like the guy's literally has a brick in his hand, throwing it at Trump supporters. They're like, well, that guy's anti-fascist. So the guy that attacked him, that means he's fascist.
Yes.
And then the people who attack BLM, which sometimes are, older white Karens. So, sorry for being racist again. Like suddenly you're racist against blacks. So it's retarded. It's stupid.
I got a question for you. I asked the exact same question to Jim Bob about, before, because we did a cold lead in for him, and they said he was part of the violent Proud Boys, right? It says about the whole Proud Boys in the country in your chapter. I'd like you to tell me, how many times did you guys go to a Democratic event just to go there and attack Democrats? Tell me about that.
So we don't go to other people's events.
Exactly.
Right? We don't protest I think protesting, or well, actually, the word is counter protesting group is
Yeah.
super gay, right? And I don't mean it in a homophobe way.
Yes. Oh no, you're in trouble now.
Yeah, here we go. Being a racist, homophobe.
I'm very
I'm
easily
going for
offended.
misogynist next. But like that's not something that we do. You know, you want to throw your party, we don't care. But the problem comes in when we throw parties, and our parties are so cool that they want to come disrupt our parties, and that's where the problems start. You know, I remember during the Summer of Love of 2020 when BLM was burning everything down, fiery but peaceful. I remember because as the chairman at the
crispy.
time, I don't have executive power over the guys. I can't tell them what to do, you know. And if you've been a Proud Boy for a while, you kind of know that if I were to tell the guys to do something, they'd be like, "We're not doing that." And if I tell somebody, "Hey, you got to kick this guy out," they're gonna go send me to go kick rocks. But regardless of the fact, during the Summer of Love, I did kind of like put out a message to the guys. I'm like, hey, look, I don't think that we should protest. Just in case you guys are thinking about it, I don't think we should protest these things. It's pointless to even go. Like, I didn't even need to say that because the guys weren't doing it, but I was just doing it precautionary. Like, don't show up at these places because it's all it's going to do is bring trouble, and we don't want no trouble, right? So like you said, we don't go counter protest anything. That's not a thing. If you're a drag queen and you're showing your tits, your dude tits to like some little kids, we're
Yes.
gonna go protest, right?
Same one here.
And they're like, well, well, the Proud Boys are an anti-gay group, anti-gay hate group. No, we don't go. Like, you're not gonna catch Proud Boys outside of a gay bar.
Can you see
There you
this?
go, perfect.
See this, brother? This showed up at my school board meetings. I had to cleanse it so we could show it exactly.
Oh, I thought that was a meme.
No, this is in my kids'
Like
book.
that's for like kids to
This is
read.
in my kids' books. This was,
I was-
I became national news like 3 years ago. I got 6 posters. That's a girl. This is a girl wanting to be a boy. And so I covered it. That's a strap on. That's a boy with an earring wanting to be a girl performing oral sex in my children's books.
So what's crazy is you just pulled that out of nowhere. So I thought like you had a poster of a meme, and like before the show,
No,
I
I use
asked
this
you.
all the time. I use this to go against the leftist. So before
Well, Well, here's the thing: when you pulled the poster out right now, like I thought it was a meme. Like you guys just have like a meme poster so you can like show people. And then before the show started, I asked you, I'm like, hey, can I cuss in here? He's like, yeah, you can kind of cuss or whatever. And I'm like, wow, he's got pulling out this crazy meme like of like sucking dicks and shit, right?
Yeah, right. No, it's
And
in
then
our kids' books.
you just told me that it's so I didn't think it was safe for this platform that you're on, but it's a children's book.
Yes.
So it goes beyond the platform. Like
crazy.
they're giving it to little kids. So that's something that we've always, I think, Proud Boys is not like, it's not a political thing. It's more of a cultural thing, right?
It's
so
a good
like,
versus evil.
we understand that shit like that is not cool, right? So we fight against it, you know, and we do it by either protesting, disrupting, or in some cases we get elected, right? Locally down here, I've been pushing the guys even before my incarceration, to pushing the guys to get elected locally. We've been very successful in doing so. So successful that the left is very scared. And obviously, we saw how one of the biggest cities in the country, Miami, Florida, flipped red. It's the last major United States city that has turned from blue to red. Now, hopefully, that happens across the country, but I don't know.
Yeah, hey,
But-
Enrique, this is the second time we spoke. Just so you know, I'm an elected committeeman here in the state of Illinois. I'm elected.
Yeah.
I got elected as a committeeman.
Well, I mean, and it just goes to show, like when stuff just needs to get done, men put their boots on,
We
and
have
Democrats take their boots off and go hide in the closet.
to. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir. So go
I'm
ahead,
surprised they even have boots.
Well, you know, that's the best way to hide a constitution. Just put it under a pair of Democrat work boots.
yeah.
I'll never pick it up.
Hey, can I ask you a question? So you got
No.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then.
I'm kidding. Go
Nice
ahead.
Southern kid here.
So you got sentenced to like over 20 years, right?
Yes.
I was held in Kentucky.
Oh,
I got
okay.
I got 37 months for January 6th, right? And man, leading up to the election, I was freaking out, right? And I only had 37 months to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
I was
yeah.
freaking out leading up to the election. I'm like, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And then it happened again on January 20th. Like, is he actually going to do what he said he's going to do? Am I just, like, is my faith well placed? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? My wife and mom were certain it was going to happen, but when you're in there, it's not as certain. How were you feeling during all of that?
So what's crazy is probably like the time that I was the most anxious was the last 4 months before election, because what ended up happening is that they put me in the shoe.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Jeez.
Oh,
So
That's the
in
hole,
the
by the way.
shoe, right, you don't get any news. And the last thing I saw was Kamala Harris jumped in the race. And, the poll, and I know the polls are always wrong,
Yeah.
yeah.
but the polls did have her leading. And, like in the back of your head, you're like, what if the polls got it right this time?
Right.
You start thinking that because obviously I'm alone in there and you have a lot of time to think. So it was, I'd say, I was extremely anxious, and luckily I got a hold of my mom and I'm like, hey, can you send me like voter registration numbers for the 7 battleground states? And it came in to one of the prisons I was at probably about like 3 weeks before election. And when I saw those numbers, I already felt good because I knew it was almost mathematically impossible for her to win. So a big shout out to those people that brought out to vote and those voter registration. I know there's a lot of people that need things for that because those are the actual heroes because they were the door knockers and they gave us our life back. And there's no such thing. There's no such thing as short time. So 36 months, 4 months,
Oh, yeah.
22 years. Yeah, obviously, but there's no such thing as short time. I think it was like 4.5 months into DC Gulag for burning that Black Lives Matter banner.
You damn
I was
racist.
I was actually locked up with somebody that you were in the
Oh.
DC jail with for a long time.
There you go. So I'll tell you what, those 4.5 months felt longer than the 3 years that I did.
Yes. So I got a question for you. Explain. So I did, I did 6 months in the hole across a couple different prisons, but back to back, and they transferred me to put me in different holes. Tell people, I want you to tell them what it's like to be in the hole and how long it is between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When you're in the hole alone, it seems like a lifetime, especially in your situation.
Yeah, so I was transferred to over 40 different prisons over the course of about 3 years.
Wow, that's awful. You get the
So-
diesel, what they call the diesel, some bullshit.
It's called diesel therapy,
Yeah,
and then like the legal policy term by the BOP is called administrative transfer, right? And it's a thing. It's
Did
not,
they keep you in the
it's not
black
a-
box with the?
And they did me, yeah. They
Black box.
just for your viewers, you guys should go ahead and Google what a black box is. It looks like a medieval torture device. You're like chained up to like the
it's
your
handcuffs
stomach.
within a handcuff.
It's like thumb screws.
You can't even eat a
can't move.
sandwich.
Yeah.
So, if I wasn't in the shoe, I was in transit.
Did you go on,
And-
were you on Con Air too?
Yeah, I was. I think I rode Con Air about 3 or 4 times. I
Yeah.
also flew commercial.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's because you're special.
That was a pre-conviction because I was allowed to do that pre-conviction through the marshals.
Yeah.
So, and it was actually funny as shit because they put this sweatshirt on you that has like the front pockets of the sweatshirt, kind of, but it has a flap so you can keep your handcuffs on, but it looks like you have your hands in your pocket, but you still have the stomach chain.
Yeah,
So if you pull up the sweatshirt, the chains start hanging. So we're the last ones to board the plane.
Oh my God, you have to go.
And just to be a dick, I kind of like pulled up my shirt, right? so like the passengers see the chains, and they kind of like opened their eyes, and there was this one older lady that was like, "Nah, I'm not riding here," and she got off the plane.
Well, on the plus side, it's harder to sneak things into the plane in handcuffs. So I think you weren't. It's not like you were walking in with a briefcase or anything.
Yeah. But so I was transferred around.
And another thing, Enrique,
I
sorry,
was treated like shit, but
so another punishment of being transferred around, right? So like when you get to a facility, you get your commissary and some of the nicer things, and I'm being somewhat sarcastic, people.
Mhm.
So when you get transferred around, you don't get to have your commissary and stuff catch up with you to help make that time a little, right? I mean, right?
Y-
Yeah.
Yeah. So another difficulty was moving. So you never know when you're going to move, but commissary's coming, you know? So there's a lot of times that I ordered commissary and like as soon as I got it, they're like, hey, pack up your stuff. You're leaving. And I'm like, shit.
They don't tell you.
And you
They just come
can't
and say
take
you're
it with
going.
you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, let's
Yeah.
pack a bag and take it with you. No, you got to give it away or throw it out.
Yep.
One or the other. Or send it back home. You know, which I think is the stupidest idea in the world. Like, what am I going to
buns. Here
send?
you
Like,
go, Mom.
you want me to send 10 packs of ramen noodles?
Oh my God, I'm never eating ramen noodles ever. Ever
Yeah,
in
I'm
my
not
life.
touching. My chick actually today was like, "Oh, what do you want to eat or whatever?" And I'm like, "Look, you know what? Whatever you want to eat."
Yeah. It
And she's
doesn't
like, "Oh, there's this great ramen place in the corner." I'm like, fuck you.
matter. Right.
You know, we're not doing that. But yeah, I mean, it's annoying because some of these places just don't feed you. The last 4 months, going back to the anxiety thing, the last 4 months, I didn't eat properly. Sometimes I didn't shower. I lost 40 pounds, even though like there was a time in the DC gulag when I was in the Patriot pod, I did gain about like 15, 20 pounds. So I lost, I guess net, I lost 20 pounds, but I lost a whole 40 pounds in 4 months.
I got
That's
a
hell of
question
diet,
because
isn't it?
you're a mixed race person, right?
Mhm.
I know, like, my personal experiences, like, if you go somewhere where it's like in the Chicago, right, and the MCC, the African American guys treat white guys like shit.
Yeah.
Because you were a J6er, it doesn't not matter if it was African American guard or white. Did they all treat you like shit, or how? Tell me how that experience was.
So I think I separated it into two categories, and it's inmates and COs, right? So for the most part, if we're in like a red state, COs were great. You know, they.
It's a correctional
I'm not going to
officer,
say they're
folks.
great, but
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
professional,
yeah.
right?
I felt like a zoo animal.
Yeah. So, well, at USP Atlanta,
Oh
which
my
is where
God,
they,
that's a shithole. I was there.
yeah,
A shithole.
yeah,
I was next to old Al Capone's cell that was in there.
yep.
And we had to throw
It's
toilet paper to keep the vents from. It was real cold. Did you have that too? We had to
well, we
throw
still
wet
do that.
toilet paper. Yeah.
We still do that. Yeah. At Atlanta USP, obviously it's in Atlanta, the blueberry in Georgia. And COs there are real pieces of shit. They're real like pieces of work. They don't care. They'll beat the shit out of you if you like even ask for something. I saw there's no emergency buttons there. I saw a man die of a heart attack, and he was laying in there for about 4 hours before somebody came and picked him up. So it depends. And then as far as inmates go, you know, I'm going to go with the topic that you said after, but for the most part, they love J6ers, right? Because fairly or unfairly, they feel like the government fucked them one way or another,
Good.
right?
I mean,
So either they feel like they're guilty, but they got screwed somehow, or they're not guilty, or they feel like they're not guilty and they screwed them somehow, or they're actually not guilty and they screwed them somehow. So they're like, well, these guys attacked the Capitol, which is the people that put us in here to begin with. So thumbs up. Now, as far as a race thing in prison for me, it was really confusing because like, and I guess it was kind of a benefit because I can't roll with the white guys, right? Although some of them let me roll with them. I can't roll with the black guys,
I'd rather
although
have you-
some of them would let me roll with
explain
them.
it. I'd rather hear you explain it how segregated it is. From your words, I mean, it's very segregated.
It's
So-
wild.
Yeah.
So segregation is in prison is real.
Normal.
There's a white TV and you can't watch the white TV. You can't change the white TV if you're any other race. The same thing with like the black TV, the Latino TV, the Paisa TV. There's different categories on it. But for the most part, everybody kind of gets along, but they have their own cars. So as I fucking hate using this, but mixed race person, I don't fit in a box, right? So most people are accepting. Like I could kind of join any car I want, but I didn't want to join a car. That my last spot in Pollock, Louisiana, you can't roll Solano, which is you can't roll without being in a fucking in a car. And a car is kind of like there's prison gangs and there's like the little crews. So I had to jump in the Caribbean car, and a week later, the head of that car, the rep of that car, left, and I became the head of the Caribbean car for 2 months. So, my headphone volume is a little high. So it's very segregated. So it's very confusing as a Afro-Cuban to kind of fit in a box. But I'll tell you, I never had a problem with inmates. I never had a problem.
That's good. That's good. Like, well, it's funny. I'm Italian. I'm only half Italian, but I look Hispanic. And
Yeah.
like when in the federal system, all the
You look
Hispanic,
Cuban.
all the Hispanic guards would speak to me Spanish. I'm like, what? I barely speak English, buddy. Let alone Spanish.
It's easy to tell because he's got like this motion going on, like Mama, boopity boopity boopity
Boopity
boopity.
boopity boopity boop. There we go. Fucking racist again, dude. Here we go. Like we're on a roll here.
It's Chicago. There's a lot of Italians. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So like, what really pisses me off, you guys were definitely political, all of us, I wasn't a prisoner, but I was targeted. My family was put on the Quad S's list, Enrique. My
Yeah.
mom, my wife and daughter and children. And so this is like we live in Russia and stuff, especially you and you
Yeah.
going away from our your families and stuff. And I hope this never happens again. And I know like so many of these leftists in the country think that you guys all of us are evil just for being there, just for being at January 6th.
Hell, just for being a Trump supporter, for you know what I mean? It's just like I can't tell you how many friends I lost in 2016 over it. I mean, when January 6th happened, it's like
I was called a traitor. I didn't even like. I was there. I was there right to the last barrier on the west side where the cops were fighting and stuff. I never hit anybody. I never yelled. You weren't even in D.C. That's what pisses me off. You were.
I'm the
never
only
even
one that
there.
wasn't in DC. Out of
Right?
I always say two things. I'm the only January 6th poser, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because I was in the DC gulag and like, we congregate in groups and we're just talking and there's everybody saying stories. No, I was in there and it was in Nancy Pelosi's desk. And the other guy's like, oh no, I was in the Senate chamber. I was hanging off the side of the balcony, man, and I took some pictures. And I'm just sitting there with my fucking arms crossed. I'm like, damn, I don't have any of these fucking cool stories.
Yeah, because we did a cold opening. Some prick, I don't know who it was, saying about you planned it, you orchestrated it. I was at the Marriott with all you guys, right? And with my police officer friend, he just retired. There was never ever a mention of insurrection. I didn't even know we were walking at a Capitol, till like that. I'm like, oh fuck, that's a long walk. It's like, we're out front. It's like there was no plan. And another thing that amazes me when I argue with people, right? You look back at November and December, and you were there, right? Antifa was everywhere. They were throwing tables over, trying to get in hotels. December, I think a guy was stabbed. Four people. Black Lives Matter. Antifa was everywhere, right?
Are you talking about, I'm sorry, you said December 12th?
Before J6 or November.
Yeah.
It was in November, December, right? Both those.
It was 4 Peebs.
Yeah. And so Antifa was everywhere, and the whole country saw that. So, okay, any of you have common sense, all of a sudden, January 6th, Antifa was nowhere. They were nowhere.
suspicious, wasn't it?
Nowhere. So, where were they? Were they hiding for some reason? I'm being sarcastic, Enrique, right?
Well, no, actually they were hiding.
Yeah,
right.
with Trump hats.
And this isn't a conspiracy theory. I don't know if you know what our OSS team did with Mr. I think his name is Jake Sullivan, one of the Sullivan brothers. The BLM dude. That,
Yeah. Yep.
So we infiltrated one of their chats, right? And it was an Antifa chat, and all of them were talking about dressing as Trump supporters. And this isn't, again, I'm not like, I won't believe in something unless I like see like hard facts. Like it's difficult for me to talk about things unless I have like hard facts. And we have communications. We have all their communications, and their plans were to dress as Trump supporters. And they posted pictures of themselves with their Trump gear
And some of them
that they
turned their
actually
hats
bought right there
backwards to
next to
identify
the
each
White
other.
House.
Yeah, right. Some of them turn their hats backwards to identify each other because they're from different chapters as well. Correct?
Yeah.
I want to know how many of them got arrested.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, within that group of, I think there was like 20 participants in that group chat, and only one of them got arrested. And the only reason why that one got arrested is because he's very, very well known on YouTube. And I don't think they had another choice but to do it to kind of make it seem even. But the other 19, they never got picked up.
Shocker.
So I got to, so I was with my sheriff buddy, right? He just retired. And we were behind, and I got the same video that went viral. Like I was almost exactly of Ray Epps, right? So do you got to go on Greg Kelly's show? If you got to, just let us know.
I haven't got a message.
Okay.
So
yeah. So and don't worry if you have to.
So we're in the Terry Newsom show right
yeah,
now.
Yeah. So don't worry about
I'm not
it.
worried about that.
Yeah. And so we were behind. I got the video. I sent you the one video that guy that we were behind Ray Epps, right? And we saw me and my friend Robin. I'm like, in the middle of all this stuff, I saw Epps. I'm like, wow, you kind of know, like, that guy doesn't look like Antifa, but he's up to something. I don't know what the hell. And he's whispering to this young kid, right? And I was like, why are you whispering in the middle of this riot or whatever it is, right? And so on the way home, I sent that video to Ben Bradley, WGN reporter, a Democrat, liberal, who I know. He reported on other stuff in Chicago. I got a timestamp, January 11th, before anyone knew who Ray Epps was, right? Anybody. He gets back to me, oh, these are all Trump folks, right? And then all of a sudden, when the thing came out, it's like when they were looking for Ray Epps, I sent him the same screenshot. I go, that's the guy I just sent it to you. We didn't know who he was. Then it came out it was Ray Epps. The media didn't want to report any of that stuff. None of that stuff.
If you really want to take a look at how these cases are prosecuted and how unjust they were, and just let's pretend for a second, because I like playing the pretend game. Let's pretend that Ray Epps wasn't a Fed, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Ray Epps, the night before, and I'm sure you've seen the video millions of times, he's chanting to storm the Capitol, and he did more than I did.
Yeah, you beat me to it. Yes.
He did more than I did.
Yeah.
Right? Like, their evidence against me was really two things. Their entire 6 months of presentation really broke down to two things, right? Number one, on January 6th at about 2:37 p.m., I posted on social media and I told everybody, don't fucking leave. Mm-hmm. I posted on social media. It wasn't like a secret, thing to the Proud Boys. It wasn't a secret thing to like the group. I'm watching this shit on TV and I'm like, it's like my team just won the Super Bowl, right? If there was a charge about celebrating, a protest, fuck, guilty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I continued to celebrate it like half of America did. And the second piece of evidence is, I think, the most damning. I'm sorry, I'm getting a cold right now. The second piece of evidence is a document that was sent to me that's called 1776 Returns. And it sounds ominous, but when you actually read through this fucking bullshit, it's like it's instructions on how to do a sit-in. And simply by that, I should have been exonerated, because there is no way in hell any Proud Boy is going to do some gay-ass sit-in. Okay?
Right.
That's just never going to happen. I'm not going to get these big dudes and like lock arms like kumbaya and sit till a bunch of cops beat our ass. I'm never going to do
the
that.
bicycle barricades. Fight power.
Exactly. Like, it's just never happening. So just on the basis alone, I should have been exonerated from that. But there's a step further. The document was sent to me and it was never opened.
Wow.
Right? So, like, if you don't open the document, and it was showed, because the forensics showed that I never opened the document.
Yeah.
So imagine you got an email from, like, I don't know, fucking Osama bin Laden. Right? And you never saw it. And then here comes the government, put some handcuffs on you. There it goes. Get in the freaking car, you stinking terrorist, and then puts you away for life. Right?
Yeah.
So Ray Epps did, if the bar for the Biden DOJ was celebrate J6, then if I was charged with sedition, he should be charged with treason.
Absolutely.
You get me? Like that's the
Yeah.
if that's the low bar that
Yeah.
you set.
Yeah.
Okay, but like let's take out the fact that I just said that if he wasn't
Yeah.
a Fed, because I don't want to keep that there because I truly believe that the guy's a Fed.
Absolutely.
I get called a Fed all the time for retarded reasons. And in his case, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
He definitely wasn't Antifa.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got hit with like some sort of conspiracy something, right? Can I ask that or no?
So yes, so I got hit with seditious conspiracy, and just so you guys know what seditious conspiracy is, it is one step under treason. There wasn't when it was originally. This is an old like British like Magna Carta fucking age shit. They needed to process crimes for attempted treason, right? So they needed something a step lower, which is sedition, which is attempting to overthrow the monarchy or the government at the time. So the sedition charge was the specific statute was created after the Civil War to kind of punish the rebel states and the rebel soldiers and shit like that, to have something to work. It never worked because they never used it, but they kind of like left it in the dust in the back of a library. And when the Capitol was breached, they're like, we need to find something serious to charge these people with. And actually, the first person to call on people to get charged with sedition was Joe Biden. He did it on Twitter. And I think that Merrick Garland was like, I need to, I already, like, he's wiping his mouth and like kind of like putting Neosporin on his knees. And he's like, I need to help my friend. And he charged not only me, but I think it was like 14 other individuals with sedition, right? Which is a very serious crime in itself, but it's a very tricky crime too, because the act of sedition is what I told you, attempting to overthrow the U.S. government. But when you actually read what the charge is, the bar is so much lower. The bar for that, how they use it is it's an obstruction charge. You're stopping the execution of any law in the United States from being executed by the attempt of use of force, right? So in our case, the way that they charge that is Ethan moved a bike rack, right?
Lord forbid.
He didn't break a fence or anything.
Gasp.
He moved a bike rack, and he allegedly, to them, attempted to stop the 12th Amendment from being processed, which was not even what was happening that day, but I'll let that slide. So that was the force being used for a political objective. That's also terrorism, and that's how they gave us a terrorism enhancement.
So it was like, where does the conspiracy part come in? Like somebody just said you did it? Did the government just, like, I'm not quite sure what conspiracy means. Like, I heard it a lot when I was in prison, but like, what does that entail?
So it entails, if example, like if Jim, if me and you were to get on the phone and go, hey, we want to rob a bank.
One of my grenades fell off my vest from J6. They're fake.
Yeah,
These are fake, guys. I bought them at the surplus store.
Is your name Jeremy Brown?
They're fake. Just, they're fake. All right. Sorry. All right.
So, Jim, if I were to call you and tell you, hey, let's go rob a bank, and then we kind of plan it, right? And then one of us were to take one action to further that crime, that is a conspiracy. Meaning, if we talk about it and then you go buy, I don't know, you go buy a flathead screwdriver so you could break into a car, that's it. You might as well go over there and finish robbing the bank because you're going to get charged exactly like you robbed the bank. It's the most crappy law in the world, especially like for like the new age of the internet where and men specifically too, because we banter with each other a lot, and anything can be a conspiracy. You could literally get put in prison for anything.
Oh, they use it against Italians in Chicago all the time.
Yeah. And what's crazy is you could literally indict a ham sandwich, so you could literally put any law together. And we weren't charged with violence. Mm-hmm. There was no violence in our case whatsoever. We weren't even like indicted with anything violent occurring. So we were pretty much a violentless crime, and we got more than the maximum sentence because the maximum sentence was technically 20 years.
Yeah, and so like, so wasn't like the whole plan all along to take over the most powerful country in the universe, in the world of the history of man, with a flagpole and a camera?
Well, and yeah, like
I'm being sarcastic.
I was
guys,
about to say
right?
that. Like, like, what conspiracy? Like, I've been a Proud Boy since like 2017. This is the first time I've had words.
Oh, you're an OG.
Yeah, like this is the first time. Maybe it was 2018. It was somewhere around there, right after the 2020 election. But this is the first time I've actually talked to you. So, like, what did you organize? Nothing. There's nothing there.
Well, you want me to tell you what the exact plan for January 6th was?
Huh.
Oh man, here we
Oh,
go.
here we go. We're getting a look behind the curtain now.
All right. All right. So here we go. This is gonna be like one of those Wizard of Oz curtains where you think it's like this giant dude. It's just like some old fucking nerd.
Hey,
Hey,
attention.
can I say something before you say that? And I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm
go
right
ahead.
or not. Like,
Go ahead.
my understanding is that like the Oath Keepers, the 3%ers, and the Proud Boys, I'm hearing that they were down there, and then Antifa wants to come and beat up people and stuff, and there was an attempt to try to package them and sandwich them in between the multiple groups. Is that true or no?
That they were trying. I'm sorry,
To
I didn't follow.
Get Antifa to box Antifa in when they came out at night to try to harass and attack Trump supporters and have support from the other organizations, not just the Proud Boys by themselves, because Antifa in November, December had lots of people. Is that so? Go ahead.
So I'll tell you specifically before January. I usually don't. I don't work well with other groups. I don't like coordinating with other groups because the problem is there's too many variables there. So I just like doing our stuff whenever we go and kind of like not worrying about anybody else. Specifically for January 6th, the plan, we did have a schedule, right? So the schedule was, I think, wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, go to Harry's. Sorry. Go to Harry's and go have breakfast at Harriet's, which is next door to Harry's. And go to the Ellipse at like about 9:30 because we knew it was going to be jam-packed. And we were going to finish watching the president speak. I was supposed to speak on a stage at 1:30 p.m., which was on the other side of the Washington Monument. And then at another stage at 2, I believe it was like 2:10, a permitted rally with the stage that was in front of the Capitol, right? And then we were supposed to be back in Virginia by 2:45 because we had the lead singer of the Misfits, Michael Graves, was going to do like a little unplugged session in Ethan's Airbnb. So we were going to go party there. So I don't understand. I mean, I know the prosecutors knew we didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
They just didn't give a shit. They needed to make a story. So what were they? What was the plan? Like, I was going to overthrow the U.S. government, and then like
By standing on a stage.
less than an hour later, I was going to go, to a hotel room to listen to music.
They had to have those communications, right?
Yeah, they had their communications. They just here's the
just don't
fucking
care.
crazier part about this whole thing is they didn't let us use a lot of them.
Oh, I got like thousands of hours of footage of people that weren't even me though, but like, you got this string of text messages that say, this is what I'm planning on doing, this is where I'm going, this is where I am, and all of it is nothing to do with the Capitol building. None of that matters. But this dude on this video who's not even me, related to me, or has anything to do with me, that's in my discovery. It makes no sense. Like, they just picked and chose. Like, none of us were co-defendants either, really. Like, there was a few cases where some people were co-defendants. But, like, what each of us did reflected on the other J6ers, but it didn't actually have anything to do with the case. Like, my case didn't have anything to do with your case, right? But what I did reflected on you because you were at the Capitol, right?
Yeah.
But none of us are co-defendants. So why does what you did reflect on what I did? It makes no sense.
So what the government alleged in our case, everybody that was, as it comes to our case, everybody that was there was considered our tool, right? So, and it was the first time the U.S. government does this in a case. They said that we, instead of a crowbar to break into the Capitol, we used the crowd as our crowbar to break into the Capitol.
Really?
What we did is that we
was that really? Or are
yeah,
you just
it
using
sounds so
you're
fucking cool.
is that an analogy you're making up, or is that like,
No, that's exactly what they presented.
wow?
Right.
Well, you know, in the Proud Boys tenets, it says we are professional rabble rousers, of course. You know, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. It sounds cool as shit, but like they made it sound so cool. I gotta go back to that. They made it sound so cool. Like I was like Professor X and I'm sitting in Baltimore with no phone, by the way, because they took my phone because I burned that stupid ass banner, right? So they took my phone from me. So I'm sitting in a hotel room with no phone, and I literally I call room service from the thing, and I'm like, "Hey, can you guys please bring me a wheelchair?" And I sat in a wheelchair and I did this, and I made the entire crowd
Yeah.
oh, I
like
see.
commit an act of treason. And it's wild to me
There's
that
an X-Men reference.
yeah.
Who don't,
So
for all who don't get it.
yeah. If you didn't get the reference, I was Professor fucking X.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
worry, I'm a nerd. I get it. I get it.
And I'm bald enough to get that done.
Man, look at my hair graft. Save my ass. Look at that shit, man. That's all hair
No,
graft right there, brother.
Oh my god.
I'm probably the only one who came out of prison with more hair than I went in with.
Oh, you guys are gonna love this story.
Oh no, you didn't.
Wait.
You didn't. But with that hair, it's definitely not on my head.
You guys,
Oh,
when I
yeah,
was in
well,
Estill,
you know.
South Carolina,
I look like I got a fucking mohawk down there.
you guys, when I was in Estill, South Carolina, guys are smuggling drugs and stuff. Guess what I fucking smuggled in? Rogaine.
Oh my god. All
I swear
right.
to God. I said
So-
I paid to smuggle in Rogaine in Estill, South Carolina federal prison.
So here I'll admit something on your show, and this is exclusive fucking content here. I was droning things into the prison. No
Really?
drugs or anything. Yeah,
Wow.
I did like cell phones and tobacco,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I got a weird, like this cartel dude like wanted me to bring in like soccer cleats. So we brought in soccer cleats. So that was weird. But the weirder thing is there was a huge like want for Ozempic.
Really?
Yeah.
They couldn't
So-
work out. They're sitting in prison.
You got
Holy
nothing
So
better to
shit.
do.
in prison, I was an Ozempic smuggler.
I remember when I was in the first yard, and this was early '90s, right? And there was some fucking big drug.
The
cartel
glory
guy.
days of the federal
So
prison.
I'm like in the yard. I'm like, what the hell are those
When it
like?
hit it.
What are those lines and wires crossing the yard? They're for helicopters, right?
They're for helicopters. Yeah.
I'm like,
they're
what
for
the hell is
helicopters.
that shit,
That's the
man?
Wi-Fi lines.
Yeah, right. It's like,
How else are you gonna use your your video calls on your cell phone? You know.
well, hey,
With a
what was your
fucking with
job?
a camcorder.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you bounced around, so in some cases you didn't have enough time to get a job. But when you did have time to get a job, what was your job?
So
Ozempic
I did have
smuggler,
the
I guess.
coolest job at one point. Oh wait, hold on. Actually, my mom's calling me right now.
I wanted to have your mom
could-
on too because the share is in the future. My mother
Yeah,
went
in the
through-
future we'll
she-
do a double. We'll do a double.
Our mothers
thing.
went through hell worrying about us being killed. You know what I mean? So I appreciate what your mother went through. And
Yeah, she's a warrior, dude. She's a warrior.
really
I'm
carried
sorry,
it
what
out
were we
here.
talking
Your
about?
job,
I lost
your
my train
job.
of thought.
Your
So I
job.
had one of the coolest jobs in the GOP, in the BOP. That short amount of time that I was in Kentucky, I was a dog trainer and I trained service animals
Really?
for veterans. Yes, for
Wow.
disabled veterans and autistic children.
Did you ever
And
work?
I got to train 4 dogs.
Did you guys ever work with Unicorn?
No.
I definitely said no to Unicorn.
Yeah.
I am not working at a fucking sweatshop.
I
Here's a
did.
factor for 25 cents a day.
Well,
like
it makes more than the other
Well,
jobs.
12
but-
cents a
yeah,
day,
yeah.
and if you owe restitution, it's 6 cents a day now.
jeez.
So I when I was in Still, South Carolina, I had a pretty cool job. I taught pre-GED, not GED. I taught pre-GED. So I'm in South Carolina, and I would give them 10 spelling words a day, right? And I got a Southside Italian accent, and so these idiots would only get like 1 or 2 words right, and I give them real easy words, and they're like, "God damn it, Yank! I can't understand your accent, man." So every time I'd read the 10 words off, I'd let a hillbilly.
Guys, I'll come back in a second. I do have to do Greg in a second.
Okay.
Just send me the link. I got a
Well,
minute.
yeah, go
I'll be-
ahead. We'll just cut it off here. Don't worry about it, brother.
Okay, I'll come back. When are you going to post this?
This will be on tomorrow, and
Okay.
tomorrow on our channel, and then on General Flynn's
Okay,
on Saturday.
if you
and
want,
Sunday.
I'll come back. I'll
Yes.
call you after this.
All right, man. Thank
All
you, brother. How
I
much
was
time
thinking
we
the
got
same
left?
thing.